Hello there, and welcome to Spirit Island. This is the first episode I've made. And yeah, we'll just dive right into the game. I will try to explain the best I can while we go along. But the basic premise of the game is that we are a spirit of nature, and our goal is to ward off invaders to our little island here. So yeah, let's just get into a game. So these little white pieces, little towns, explorers, and cities, those represent different invaders. And then these little discs will represent presence that my spirit is located at. And then for now, we're going to play 2 cards. I am limited by how much energy I have per different card play. Let me rephrase that. I have energy that I get per turn, and then how much energy I have is a limit on what cards I can play. For example, because I only had 1 energy this turn, I could not play Flash Floods, which costs 2 energy. And then I am also limited by how many cards I can play per turn. Here I can only play 2, so that means I can't play Boon of Vigor despite this costing 0 energy. Okay, I believe that is everything. There we go, invaders do their things. I'm going to play Rivers of Fire, try and save some of the Dahan, or these huts. If we look at the bottom here, sands are going to ravage, and I don't have the means to save land 7 at all. I'm going to shove these guys over here, because I'm also going to let land 2 go, and move this guy over there. Yeah, from here, I am going to grow, become a little bit more powerful as a spirit. Yeah. I did uncover a Reclaim 1 option, so when you play a card, normally they go into the discard pile, but Reclaim 1 allows me to recover a card. I am going to do something a little bit odd, in that I'm going to play absolutely nothing on this turn. Okay. And now we're going to see the payoff from that decision. Okay. So, I'm going to reclaim the last card, and then I'm going to play literally everything. I'm going to destroy Lord. Boon of Vigor, I'll target myself just to gain an energy. Now, something about ravaging is, after the invaders explore. Actually, no, this is a good time. So, lands have essentially 2 health, and if they ever take 2 or more damage, they will blight. Blighting is bad, we don't like blight. And then in the event that a land does blight, any presence is lost, and then the little huts, they work in a slightly similar way. They also have 2 health, so if invaders do 2 damage, they deal 2 damage to the land and the little huts or Dahan. If the invaders do 4, the land still only blights twice, but I would lose 2 Dahan as well. Anyways, the invaders also do get powerful as the game goes on. The first 3 turns, they have a basically are at level 1. Then from after that, they become level 2, and they get a little bonus action. For Prussia, they get to add a town to where there isn't a town. As jungle's just ravaged, I'm going to throw it in the jungle. And then from here, I need to start clearing out lands. Or yeah, I'm going to shove everything into here for now. No, it is better if I shove it into here. I'm just going to make an extra Dahan. And then the other thing I want to point out is each spirit has a little innate power, where if you meet elemental thresholds, you get a stronger effect. Elements, each card has some number of elements to them. For example, a Boon of Vigor has a sun, water, and plant element. Wash Away has a water and earth element. And if I have 3 sun, 4 water, and 1 earth, I get the maximum power innate I have, where I deal 2 damage to every invader. Basically, the stats for each invader is explorers have 1 health and they deal 1 damage. Towns have 2 health and they deal 2. And then cities have 3 health and they deal 3 damage. Next, I'm going to reclaim. When you gain a power card, you can choose between a major or a minor. Right now, I'm going to choose a minor card and go for a 0-cost card because that's all I have energy for, realistically. But Gift of Power is a decent one. Here, my mountains are already taken care of, so I don't have to worry about that. And then, for build, I'm going to start taking care of the sand, so I don't have to stress about that. Here, we already saw mountains ravaged, so I'm throwing a town there. We're going to use Gift of Power first, to get more information. None of these is too useful for me. I am going to go with Nature's Resilience in case that becomes important. That's not something to worry about for now. I'll wash away from land 6 to land 7 to set up for a good massive floodings turn. And then we're going to massive flooding this time. There we go. So massive flooding does 2 damage to each invader. Earlier that turn, I did a, what's it called? I did Flash Floods on the city to deal 1 damage, and that way the 2 damage to each invader would finish off the city. Anyways, we're going to reclaim again, get a minor power. Dang, didn't get anything that can deal with a, city being built. So, I guess in the meantime, I am just going to gain more cards. Wash Away is better. I'm going to do my best to deal with the city as best I can. One thing to mention is, as you destroy towns and cities, you generate fear, and then every 4 fear you get a little bonus card. This one allows us to replace a town with some explorers, which does actually solve for land, what was I going to say? Land 2. Shadows of the Burning Forest. Just get rid of this town while we can. It also generates 2 fear. I'm going to start to migrate the Dahan over here, that way I have more range for sacred sites. Anyway, these explorers here, because we're going to do 2 damage to everything, we might as well plump up all the towns as best we can. And then massive flooding everything. And then here, as we get more fear cards, we do eventually get better and better win conditions. Right now we're at terror level 2, which means we need to destroy every town and city. If we get even more fear cards, we'll eventually get to terror level 3, where we just need every city gone. And then at terror level 4, we just win the game. Here, I am going to try and go for a major power, try to win the game off of it. And we don't... Actually, we do get a solution. We can do Blazing Renewal. And one downside for a major power is you do have to forget a power, which means you can't use it again. For here, I'm going to get rid of Shadows of the Burning Forest. I don't think we'll need it. I'm going to play Blazing Renewal. Nature's Resilience, just try to get some extra points. And then as many water cards as I can to threshold Nature's Resilience so I get its bonus effect. Nature's Resilience, I can remove a Blight, which will give us a better score. And then Blazing Renewal. We'll destroy the last town, and we win the game. There you go. That's a game of Spirit Island. Here we can look at details. We get a score of 39. We get -1 point per blight on the island, so by removing a blight, we get less points subtracted. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more Spirit Island content, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment. But yeah, I hope you guys have a nice day, and